Get everyone checking correctly. Check.
Yeah. What's good? We in there?
Yeah, I go by the name of DJ Ruckus, a.k.a. Corporate Money.
Right.
And I have some co-hosts with me today.
Hey.
For this What the Ruck podcast.
The
What
podcast.
the Ruck podcast.
The podcast? I didn't come for a podcast. I didn't show up for that.
Cool, man. So, G, for the people out there who don't know who you are, tell them who you are.
Yeah, what is great in the state? I am the ugliest brother in radio, G Money with an I, not an E, representing one time for the one time. DJ/air personality for Foxy 99, the Big Stick, and resident asshole.
All right.
Yeah, we can't curse on this podcast.
Yeah.
So.
I'm about to say, look.
Well, we can or cannot?
No, we can. Oh,
All
man,
right.
look, he already.
I'm about to say,
just like playing spades, he just.
Yeah, I just cut. I want to say, on my podcast, it's nothing but. It's super reckless.
All right.
So I'm glad to come somewhere where I don't have to be so reckless. But I'm going to bring the recklessness.
Oh, Lord.
Believe that.
Next up, we got Miss Nakia.
Hello. That's all I have. I don't have any big.
I mean,
I'm not an
Introduction.
ordinary personality. I don't have a big introduction. Just me.
just be like, hey,
And next
I'm
we
Nakia.
have
I'm
Miss
Nakia.
Shay.
Yo. It's your girl, Shay Foot PR, a.k.a. Shay Diddy. I'm a publicist from Greenville, North Carolina. And I'm dope. That's about it.
See how easy that was? You could have done that.
I'm dope too.
Yes,
You know.
yes, she's dope too.
And in case all you guys are wondering, like, why is he up here talking with these people about what? We're talking about dating in your 30s.
Yeah.
So all of us are either approaching 30 in a couple of months.
Somebody's trying to protect somebody's age identity.
Or we're all in our mid-30s, comfortably.
Right.
Somebody's approaching 40.
Okay.
Are you that somebody?
So pretty much how I want to start this off is, me and G actually had a conversation maybe a couple of weeks ago. And we were talking about some of the pitfalls that us men and what G and I both have in common are we both don't have any children.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes people may look at us, hey, are you gay? You have no kids. What's wrong with you? Where we could either be cautious, God said no,
Or we just have alternate experiences happen to us, like with what happened to me, because everybody doesn't go through what I go through. Thank the heavens you didn't.
basically do females, do y'all go through the same thing?
Go through what?
Well, see, what I think is nobody says to a female, "Oh, you're a female in your 30s, you ain't got kids. Oh, you must be gay."
No,
You know what I'm
that
saying?
happens all the time.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
We learning new
My bad.
things.
Because I see that. How can a guy be so old? How can a guy be in his 30s and not have any kids? You trying to tell me you ain't have no slip ups? You must be gay.
I legit
word.
dated a dude and his mother was like, "Can you have kids?"
Wow.
Well, I have a son. He's about to turn 4. But people still say, oh, you only have one?
Like how many?
Right.
What's the requirement? Like how many kids do you need to have, and by what age do you need to have these kids? Like
But
by
I'm
the
the
time
last
I turn.
one from all my friends and family to have a child.
Really?
So everybody's always looked at me like, are you okay down there?
Well,
Or-
I'm here like, okay,
That's crazy.
how many kids should you have by the time you're 35? Because that's like why are people always wondering how many kids you
Why does it have to be a set number?
Mm-hmm.
So as far as us either having a child or not having kids, what is dating like to y'all as far as finding the right person to even consider to having a conversation with before you even go to that next point?
It's very painful.
Wow.
Because I feel like from a man's standpoint, it's like, okay, we now have social media, so I have access to all of these women at the same time.
True.
But from a female standpoint, it's like all of these dudes are contacting you at the same time. And it's annoying, like, okay, I'll write this person back because they have a nice profile picture. That's really all you know in the beginning. And then you start talking to them and they're just mad annoying and keep messaging you over and over and over. So you're just like, okay, no, that's not it.
Wow.
my DMs don't be popping like hers, so it's not a whole bunch of people that are trying to holler, but it's annoying because I tend to think that it's where we are. Like, I'm from, or I call the DC area home, and I think that if I was back home, it would be a little bit easier to date. Here, everyone settled down by like 30.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone settled down by late 28 or by 30. Everyone settled down. So we're literally dealing with, it's interesting what you're left with. Or you have guys who have already been through a family, a divorce, and kids and whatever. So now they're in that I want to play around stage. Mm-hmm. So, it's difficult.
The whole phase.
That's really what I attract for some reason.
You attract hoes?
You attract the hoes?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like the guys that's already had kids and, done everything they want to do. And then they were in a relationship or a marriage and it didn't work out. So now they're just completely turned away from that. But they'll do everything in their power to try to treat you right, take you out. And then they're like, oh, well,
I'm not looking for a relationship.
I'm not really looking for nothing serious.
This was cool, but I wasn't looking for nothing serious.
Yeah, it's like,
stop wasting my time in 2018.
Say it again, please.
Don't waste my time in 2018.
Thank you. But it's just like, oh, no, you're a real cool person. And if I wanted to be in a relationship, I would be with you.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm just not in a place where I want to be in a relationship.
Coming from this side of the room.
Why don't you be the water?
You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, for me, I won't say from my standpoint, let me say, see, for me, like, I shoot my shot a lot. I shoot a lot of shots just in case, and I do. I shoot a lot of shots, and I casually date. Like earlier in the year, I was doing a lot of casual dating. So there's a bunch of females I'm with. It can be, unless you know how to casually date and not have to spend so much mother loving money. You know what I'm saying? And like I've been on like 1 or 2 dates with like a bunch, and then it's like. Then I gather from those conversations if I want to keep staying in contact and stuff like that. And if one of them sees this, they were like, "Oh, word, nigga, you ain't want to keep talking to me."
Be mature, sis. Be mature.
You know what I'm saying? But I know, but she did make a good point though, because of social media now, like you have access to a lot of people that you didn't have like in the 90s and stuff. If you was coming up in the 90s, completely different from coming up like nowadays. So, but I feel like it's a gift and a curse. You know what I'm saying? Because like, had it not been for social media, I would not have met some of the people that I've met. Like even like casual friends,
right?
I would not have met them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I also would not have gotten a few booty calls. Okay, like we keeping it real.
Okay.
I'm just saying, look, keep it real, right? Are we not keeping it real?
We keeping it real. All the way.
All right. You know, because I know most guys, like my bro that was just in here, made some moves off of social media. Okay, but like that's not always
just throw your mans under the bus.
Huh?
Okay.
Look, trust. If he was in here,
he would throw himself.
Look, it's not no throwing under the bus. I mean, it's like some people keep it real. You know. Okay. I'm trying to be not as reckless as usual, because I just then we get on there, we fucking bitches. That's not what it's about. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy how you say that. I know in my experience, what I did, I was so focused in my 20s about, all right, I gotta get my career popping. Once I get my career where I am, then I can find a woman.
Right.
Instead of thinking, if I get into a relationship, no matter what goes on in my career, I have a rock that will be next to me to help me if anything, may fall. But because I didn't do that and I stayed going after where I am right now, it's left me in this position to where I'm not dating. So if I try to find somebody, now I got to try to squeeze them in the time while I'm trying to still do what I like to do as far as my career.
Well, do you think it's possible to date and be in entertainment?
Absolutely.
It is possible.
Absolutely.
You just have to find a woman, or
I don't want a woman.
You just gotta find.
You gotta
find
a mate who's first of all is not insecure.
Yeah.
Say that one more time. Say that one more
Insecurities.
For the people in the back.
Now, shout out to people on IG Live. They know about finding people with no I meant without those insecurities. First of all, being in the entertainment field, you're going to be out at night.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't establish that trust early in the days of talking, you might as well throw it out the window.
Well, I kind of feel like being in entertainment is like I'm kind of cornered to date other people in entertainment because somebody that's
Well, they'll understand
a
it.
teacher or somebody is just not gonna understand.
It's interesting since I'm both.
But then, but then at the same time, it's kind of like, especially in North Carolina, it's so big, but it's so small. So hypothetically, say you date a DJ. Say I date a DJ. Okay, and everything's good. You know, we date for a couple of years, whatever. But for whatever reason, it doesn't work out. You can't date somebody else in entertainment because, you know, you got all these
Why
different
not?
circles.
Oh.
And then it's like, oh, yeah, she used to date him, and now she's dating him. So then you got to strategically figure out, okay, who can I date that's not in this circle with him? That's where I feel like,
Yes, we are going to cross paths, but I guess it depends on how the relationship ends. Okay, say G or I were dating a female R&B artist,
okay,
and she was starting to bubble. She left one of us alone, and then all of a sudden, she blew up. Now, the mature thing would be for either G or I not to be bitter for whatever reason we broke up, or she
Yeah.
only left like that. Okay, so you left me alone, so that's why you beg now. Okay. But by damaging or even sharing what happened in the relationship, how is that going to benefit you? And then the female's going to think, oh, if you talk about her like this, then you might do the same for me.
that's true. But you also don't want to be like, I don't want to date you, and then things don't work out, and everything's fine for a year or two or whatever, and then I meet G in the club or something somewhere, and we'll start talking, and then, you know, we end up together, and then I see both of you together, and it's just like, really?
But I guess it goes back to that code, that female code or that man code, where they talk about, yo, did you smash her? I don't want to go behind your nasty second. So, you know, girls be like, well, you know, I don't want to do it if, you know, you did it. And the question would be, at the age of being in your 30s, does it still matter?
Oh, it matters. I feel like when shit like that happens, you should ask your friend, hey, look, I've been conversating with such and such. Y'all know how you feel about this. I mean, that's a double-edged sword. I'm like, nah, you shouldn't. No, you shouldn't do that. But then I'm like, who is anybody else to tell you who's right for you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, now, just because somebody may have got to this person first, and then later on in life, you know, it might turn out to be like, you're like a good match with that person. It's something to think about. I don't want to bring up no movies or nothing, but didn't that like happen in like The Best Man? Like homeboy smashed old girl. I don't know if he was with her when he did it, when Morris Chestnut was with the girl, or if he did it before, right?
Yeah.
And then Morris Chestnut ended up marrying the girl. It became the woman of his dreams. But his boy got to her first. I kind of just feel like nothing in conversation can't hurt or help.
Right. Ladies?
I agree with everything G said, but I think that's something that happens when you're dating in
Yo.
entertainment.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh.
My boy Slim said something all loud. He said everybody's girl or wife used to be somebody else's hoe.
That's true. That's true. I have a comment that
It's not
says,
a lie.
listen, if your man hasn't been married to the person, how or why would you let it dictate your happiness? Hell, that may be your soulmate.
Right.
That's true.
I'm not
Yeah.
an entertainer. I don't really have a dog in this fight.
Yeah, I mean, but I know back in the day, like me and my boys, one thing I hate about my friends is that a lot of us have the same taste in women, the same taste. So I remember like some years ago, like it was like back in like '08. You know what I'm saying? We was at the crib. I mean, not at the crib. We was at the club, and me and my boys saw this one girl. We was like, God damn, she fine as hell. But he hollered at her first, and then he ended up dating her. Now, the same thing could have been reversed. It could have been me that hollered at her or whatever. And then, like, after they broke up, he'd be like, yo, because...
Stay woke.
Stay woke. But, I mean, like that's the issue. Like, me and my friend, there's like 4 of us. We all like the same type of women, bro. The same type of women. And if I know that if I like a chick, one of my boys is going to like her. The question is, who's going to holler at her first? You know what I'm saying? And that becomes an issue as well.
That's girl
You know.
code. You find your homegirls who do not have the same taste in men as you.
Right.
That's the only way you can hang out with them.
That's hard work. Anyway, ain't no guys got no time for that.
Okay, ladies, if a man doesn't have a child and you get with him and he wants to have a child and you may have one or you may not.
Why are you raising your hand? We are not in
I have
class.
the perfect answer for that, but I'm gonna let you finish.
Okay. What do you tell? Do you tell him early on? Or do you kind of see how the relationship
I tell
goes?
him early on. I have a son already. If I meet someone and he wants to have a child, he doesn't have any kids yet. The first date would be to the pet shop, and we're gonna pick out a cute little dog, and we're gonna name it, and we're gonna buy it clothes, and we're gonna live happily ever after. Because
One and done. Okay.
one and done. I made my contribution to the world. And we can name the dog whatever you want to name him, like, you know.
Okay. Do
That-
you have
that's
a
it.
different view?
I'm teetering on the side of 40. So for me, I had to kind of resolve that maybe kids wasn't in the cards for me. So now, actually meeting men who are just like, yeah, I still want kids. I'm like, what? Like, it's just hard for me to imagine slowing my life down now for a kid. Now, I'm not going to do a whole lot to prevent it, but I'm also not willing to do a whole lot to make it happen. Like, I have some friends who have gone through the fertility issues and stuff like that, and I'm not about that life. So, yeah, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But to meet a man who was really, like, hard-pressed to have kids right now is like, ooh. Now, I do want to
Go
adopt.
that way?
Right. I mean, I want to be upfront with him. I want to be like, yo, like, that's not a priority for me. So if it is for you, then maybe I'm not for you. So, you know.
And should these be things that you discuss on the first date, or like
Maybe not the
Maybe
first
not
date.
The first date.
It's not like,
Yeah.
hey,
It's like, why
hey, how
waste
you doing? It's
somebody's
finally great
time?
to meet you. I want kids.
Yeah,
Well, maybe not like
the
that,
first
but you know,
date,
it's like,
but
why
in the
you want-
beginning,
Yeah.
yes.
I think it's important to have this conversation early because, like I said, we not wasting time in 2018. So, yeah,
You're just going to be different.
I want you to let's go ahead and talk about it.
Oh man, look at she.
Shout out Ike right quick. Shout out Bless Love and man. What up? Ike's funny. He said
There
I'm
you
the
go, Eric.
he said I'm the new Phil Donahue. I don't Not Montel, but Phil. So G, how do you feel? Like, let's say that you want to have a child, but you're with a woman. She's perfect, but maybe something in her can't happen, or fertility
well, look.
issues wouldn't allow it to happen.
Well, look, eventually, I would like to have kids, you know. And okay, and real quick, I'm gonna do this real quick summary. I had kids. I raised 2 kids for 7 years. I found out both of them weren't mine. Like, we're not gonna get into the details of that. Okay, so I raised kids for 7 years. All right, I thought they were mine. They weren't. Now I'm open to having kids. I ain't rushing to having kids because I lived that life, and it's like now I don't when I go out on dates, I don't be like, so what are your plans for kids in the future? Like, I don't do all that. You know what I'm saying? If the conversation comes up, it comes up. But I do know there's been times I've wanted to date a woman, but she didn't because she couldn't have kids.
What? There was times that you wanted to date a woman, but you didn't date the woman.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. She threw me off.
I'm sorry.
No, but like there's been like a time or two where I wanted to date one, but she didn't want to because she knew that eventually I would want kids and she couldn't have any. So that has happened before.
Okay.
So I mean, that just changes the way things happen. But like I said, I'm not out here like I'm trying to have kids in 9 months. Like, I ain't doing that. I ain't talking about all that. I just said eventually.
Okay.
Like, I'll be honest, for me right now, like, it's a plus if you are a man with kids, because then there's not so much stress on our relationship to have the kid. So if you got a kid, like, I'm not that girl that's like, oh, he got kids, I don't want to date him. Now, you can't be having like 5, 6 baby mamas. That doesn't go down here.
And that's
Four kids, 5 baby mamas.
Nah. But yeah, I don't.
Have a kid with 2.
I actually prefer a dude with kids because, you know.
That's less pressure on you.
Yeah.
But how do you
What if the
feel when
kid's
it's
bad
the
as hell?
other way? So what if the guy has that crazy?
He's a good dad, but the kid's bad as hell. Then
No,
what?
the baby mama crazy and just won't stay out the.
Oh
line.
yeah. Or crazy
Yeah.
baby mama.
That happens too.
I've never had to deal with that, thank God. So I don't know. And I'm not the crazy baby mama either. So
That's what they say.
I'm not. My son's father would tell you right now, and he texts me all the time, like, you're the best mother a child can have. Like, you give me no problems. I'm like, oh, you supposed to pick him up today? Oh, you can't make it? Okay, see you tomorrow. I don't have time for all that arguing and stuff. I got a son to raise, and I need to make him into a man. So, nah.
So now with all these different dating apps, you know, when you're in your 20s, pretty much, if you didn't meet your mate in college, or at a party, or hell on the street, just walking up. It seems that as we get older, we have more things that could be wrong with us, such as, say, a person might have
Herpes.
Did he say herpes?
I said herpes.
or let's say diabetes,
Mm-hmm.
and you're dating them.
Hold on, 1 second, because I know you guys are. I didn't. I said it as kind of a joke, but I had a friend a couple years back.
Oh my
Before
God.
he met his wife, where he met this woman, and he said that like she was really cool. He liked the conversation and all that good stuff, but she had herpes, and like he was stressing about this for like he's like, man, I don't know what to do. 'Cause, like, I really like her, you know what I'm saying, but I can't have sex with her, you know what I'm saying, this, and this, but because of the fact that she had herpes. And look at where we live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be
STDs
real,
are high.
some of these nasty soldiers around here, and forgive me for saying that, but anyway,
I wanna say,
I know several
no,
people who
A lot of my friends are soldiers. Don't do that.
A lot of my friends are soldiers too. So a lot of people actually in Fayetteville do have herpes. So that's actually a conversation that
Yeah.
you gotta have. And apparently there are ways to have sex around having
Get tested
herpes.
just in case.
So that's my take on that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I felt like I wasn't like all the way joking. Like I was halfway serious.
Yeah.
So you may continue if you remember where you left off, sir.
I was saying, with
Oh, and I love soldiers. I just know that some of them are, and some of the females here too, just not nice. Not nice.
so last we were saying with the diabetes, I know Shay and I had mentioned about the acid reflux or
Yes.
being lactose intolerant.
Oh yeah.
Chic, you're crazy. Oh, sorry.
Now.
She got herpes. What's wrong with her mouth?
She got herpes in the mouth. Fool.
He is a caveman.
Kind of
Look ahead.
So pretty much,
She got a sore. She got a blister right there. Talking about
Talking
what's wrong with the mouth.
Now, I did find 11 things they said people don't tell you that's usually good about dating in your 30s.
Mm-hmm.
They say the sex is usually pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you actually know what you want by then. Like, yeah, I'm not getting too deep into that. But
Or you already
what?
know.
yeah, you know what you
Oh, yeah.
like. You know what you like.
Okay.
You know what turns you on, what turns you off. So,
Yeah. Or you know what to do because of previous experience.
right.
Now, they also
He could be like, damn, who
Backpage.
taught you that?
They practice on with
Give them
Backpage.
applause. Also, you don't basically pick anybody up at bars anymore.
No.
So it's like in your 30s, where would you go to
Wow.
like meet people? It's like you're not going to like football games or basketball games.
But there'll be some single moms out there at these football and basketball games, right, Slim? Yo, there'll be some nice looking mamas out there. Sometimes you gotta.
Daddy's hey.
Oh,
My nephew plays football. I be on the football court.
are you advertising yourself?
I'm still single.
Okay.
Oh, man.
But look, but like real talk though. Okay, so like okay, I don't drink, so I'll never meet a girl at a bar. The club maybe, yeah, but not a bar.
Kickback, maybe.
Kickback jacks or something like that. Bowling at the bowling alley, you know what I'm saying? Like you can meet somebody anywhere. Like you can meet somebody in Food Lion. You know what I'm saying? Like
Meet somebody in church.
yeah. If you go to church, you can meet somebody in church. I heard them.
you
I
can.
heard them
Live.
church girls was free. I heard them
Oh,
church
my
girls was
God.
freaky.
What?
That's all right. Disqualification.
Well, I know you had said something about people with like diabetes and all this other stuff. And when he said grocery store, it reminded me of a time when I was in Food Lion and this guy had came up to me and he was trying to talk to me, whatever, but he was extremely weird and I was scared. And then he came back and he had this cardboard thing, like one of the boxes. he tore it off and he wrote his number on it. And he was like, I'm deaf.
Yo, that was creative.
So I was like, oh, okay. Like, at first he was trying to talk, but I was like, are you talking to me? Like, I don't know. It was just weird.
Oh, he was deaf.
Yeah, he was deaf, but he gave me his number. And so I put it on Facebook, and I was like, okay, this deaf guy gave me his number, but how am I supposed to call if he can't?
He wanted you to text him. You're supposed to text him.
Yeah, but no.
You're supposed to text him.
I did text him, and then he called me one time from the, they have this thing in the phone where it's like the computer talks for you.
Right.
And I said, okay, that's cool, and all, but I can't do this. So, I mean, but I felt bad because he was probably a really good guy or something.
Was you attracted to him?
He was
Is that
okay.
my man Schuler?
Yeah.
It's just,
D. Schuler, what?
he was okay. It was just when he first came up to me and he was talking, like, you know how deaf people sound when they talk? Like, the words are slurred and everything. It scared me. I wasn't thinking about him no more. But that is something to think about, like, people with diabetes or, you know, whatever, defects and stuff.
Or as you get older, you might have to end up taking care of them.
Right.
Instead of, y'all being together like that. So
Not going to hell.
Now look. On the same side. Well, look. I got another story. I love my friends because my friends are well traveled, and my boy. Now I ain't gonna say his name, but he was at a bar I think in Washington or somewhere. He was at a bar in Washington. He said this really nice, attractive girl was like trying to get his attention, and she sent one of her male friends over there to talk to get his number for them. So for her. So later on they was texting for a while, and they went over. He went over to the house, and like when he was asking her questions when she wasn't around, he didn't understand why she didn't answer. But then when she came back, and he said something, and she was, I'm deaf, right? So now look, I'm not trying to be funny.
Wow. I wasn't expecting the voice.
Yeah.
I know.
Look, the only reason I brought that up because he hit it anyway. Said it was the best ass he ever had.
Oh,
from
my
a deaf
God.
chick. So you probably missed your blessing on that deaf dude.
I am okay
He probably would have
with
laid
that
the smack it down on that ass.
And that's perfectly fine.
That's all I was trying to say.
let's
That's
redirect
perfectly
this.
fine.
So,
I'm just saying.
what is the youngest age that any of you guys will deal with? And
She immediately
like the tire just.
30.
I have this 10 up, 10 down thing, but the 10 down really isn't working. So we're going back to about 30.
Okay.
Maybe like 28. Maybe somewhere in there, but I rarely date. I've never dated anybody younger than me, so I'm just not attracted to people younger than me.
G.
Like, I understand what she's saying, but there's some fine ass women in their 20s. So I'd have to date a woman in her 20s.
See, I think
I'm not
it's
happy
easier for a
with
guy
Different
to
for
date
guys.
younger women.
Oh,
Yeah.
because y'all trying to say, y'all ain't gonna mess with these young, immature ass dudes?
No,
No, that's what we're saying.
exactly what I'm saying.
To a degree, I somewhat agree with you, G. It's just that there's a different mentality
Oh, there is,
Yeah.
definitely.
there, and usually you can find out on maybe the first or second date. Like for instance, say for instance, you go out, but she always on her phone.
Right.
Like they can't separate that, social media time. Or if it's that important for you to be on the phone, maybe we should pick a better day. If that phone is that important that you can't commit to 30, 45 minutes of just trying to get to know somebody.
I feel you. Me and my boys, we have. Man, I always got a story of me and my boys. One of my boys instituted like this rule we go by. When I go out to eat with certain ones of my boys, we all put our phone in the middle, and whoever grabs their phone first, got to pay for everybody's meal.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Dope. So what is the oldest age?
I've sorry.
Oh shit! It's about to go. I gotta hear this.
Facebook.
Oh no! You went live. No, you went live. You stick with it, damn it. You stick with it. And tell us about that 50-year-old man you was messing with.
No, never dated a 50-year-old
Oh,
man.
okay.
Maybe there was no
He
sponsors.
was
Okay.
60.
No,
He was a
50,
sugar daddy.
no 60. I've never had a sugar daddy
He had that
before.
Viagra popping. No ED.
Drink that
Cialis,
Coke
all that.
45.
Don't let me find out.
He was wearing you
got
out with that wrinkled
the
thing.
worms.
Not the wrinkle thing.
But go ahead, Shay. since you were talking.
The oldest I would date is probably like 40.
You limiting yourself.
I'm limited. I don't feel like I can't relate to somebody older than that. Me personally, I feel like.
So if they was talking about Motown, you'd be like, I don't know smoking.
Well, I know Motown, but
Now the senior citizen discount.
Get that AARP popping.
You know what I'm saying? So security working.
Right.
Shoot.
Yeah, again, 10 up, 10 down. I just have a problem when you're dating older dudes. I have a father. He's in my life. So when you come at me with the big girls and the you shoulds, I can't do that. I
Oh,
can't do
because your
that.
dad called you baby girl?
Yeah. I don't even like to call dudes daddy. Like that new thing. Oh, daddy. I was like, no, my daddy's that.
And I originate from pimping, but that's another podcast.
He said, it's another podcast.
Not this one right now.
Look,
So what about for you, G?
bro, look. The sky's the limit.
Talk about strollers and all.
Look, bro, look. Goddamn. There was a who's that Instagram chick that was like in her 60s, bad as hell. Look, let me tell you something, bro.
Sade like 58.
Right, like, you know, so I'm supposed to miss out on the Sade because of my 10 up, 10 down rule? Man, screw that.
I mean,
I will shoot high.
if I actually come across
Thelma
someone
from Good Times, fine as hell right now at 63.
She is beautiful. She is.
Yeah.
Man, please. I seen some 50-year-old women that put these 20-year-old women to shame. Get out of here, bro. and they know what they want in bed. Goddamn right they do. 'Cause they've been working for 40 years. Damn right. Come on.
Wow.
I hate you, G.
Oh
Right.
man, 40 years.
Am I-
So what was his age limit?
If she
I mean, think about it.
If she like 60,
All right.
if she's 63, she been fucking at least 40 years.
All right, G, if you make it sound like that, it could be like a serpentine belt. You know, after a while, the belt's gonna pop. You talking about?
I'm just saying. Look, I'm not saying that I'm out here. I'm not out here at goddamn. I'm not out here at KW looking for women. That's not what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Dinner is served. It's not like I'm doing that, bro. I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna limit myself. That's all I'm saying.
KW.
When you going up, when you going to talk about somebody older, whatever.
Now, one thing I do, a lot of times I do date guys older than me
We
because
got surgery for that.
I like somebody that can teach me something. You know, I want to see another aspect on life. And so that's why a lot of younger guys, they just, I don't know, they into the same thing.
They
Like,
can
I
teach you
don't
something
want
who's a
to.
Street Fighter.
I don't want to watch you play Call of Duty all day. I mean, older guys played it too. I get that, but a lot of times older guys, I can talk to them about, hey, I'm going through this situation, you know, blah, blah, blah. What do you think? They can give me a brand new aspect on a situation that I haven't thought of yet. If you can't intrigue me mentally, it's not really going to be anything there. So I say 40 is my limit. I don't think I would ever go above 40, but I can't go younger.
Interesting.
Well, we almost been talking who's your favorite celebrity, male celebrity? Because that nigga's over 40.
Jay-Z.
Exactly. You ain't gonna get you no Jay-Z if you stop in the line at 40. You ain't gonna get you your who do women like? Who y'all like?
They
like Denzel.
Elba.
But they used to
Idris
like Denzel.
Elba.
I don't think. Yeah, okay. You ain't gonna get your Idris Elba. You're not gonna get your Denzel or.
These
Whoever
are
the
billionaires.
hell.
They don't want my broke ass anyway.
I'm just saying though. But you can find the great value version.
What?
The great value version, the Sam's Choice version. You could, he's got everything.
With that
He's
Dr.
got what
Perky,
you want.
okay.
He's just not rich as hell. You can find that, but you stopping yourself at 40.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
40-ish.
So while we're talking about stopping ourselves, what is something that you just won't change. That they have to accept you for this, or they can't deal with you at all. Like everyone has, their point that you're not going to change. Some people like, well, maybe I could, tone down on this.
I think I understand because it's like when you let's say you meet a woman in the club, and then after a while you're like, why you go out so much? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you always going to the club? Like, nigga, I met you in the club. What do you mean? So I understand what you're saying. I don't know if there's anything like that for me because
That's why we're all single.
I mean, you make a good point. You do make a good point. But for me, I don't know. Nobody's ever said to me, oh, we can't be together if you blah. Nobody's ever said that to me. So,
But is there something about yourself that you want to change for you?
I want some abs.
All right, I'll talk about one of the
That's about
things.
it.
I'll talk about one of the
Like,
things that kind of was wrong in one of my previous relationships, and all y'all just put your cameras on me like at the same time.
My bad.
So, being a DJ, there come opportunities when someone calls you for a gig, although you had planned something with your significant
Oh
other.
yeah. That's
Oh,
happened
been there,
before.
done that.
And it could be a quick, $400 to $600 that you're making. As it was told,
Right,
but
exactly.
now that's in my situation. It came to the point where it's like, okay,
What?
although you could,
Can I get a picture of that?
although
That
yes, you're
instant
out
attitude
there,
right there. That instant attitude right there.
although
That's,
you're
that's
out
part of
there,
your problem. I'm sorry.
time is more valuable than money.
Right.
You could be out there making that money, but that time you can't get back. And you
Shout
never
out
know
to
if they
D-Train.
sacrificed something, like
For your
say
new engagement.
they planned a trip, didn't tell you about it. You were like going out of town for the weekend. Oh, this gig came up. I'm getting $600 for it. I can't do it because I want this money.
Tell me when.
And at the end of the day, when you're involved, or even if you choose to get married, when situations like that come up, she's going to have your back regardless. So the money shouldn't mean anything. And that was just a learning example for me.
Okay, so you're saying that if you're basically saying that you chose to spend time with your significant other.
No, I chose to get the money.
Okay,
And
all
this
right.
was
That's my nigga right there.
Okay.
I chose to get the money.
I
And
feel like
that's
if
why
you
I
are
had
in a
that
relationship,
conversation.
Fuck that quality time.
if you are in a
Let me get this
relationship
money.
that compromises your job or compromises your money, that's not a healthy relationship anyway. Like,
But they also have to understand that, and most people in entertainment understand.
right.
From my personal experience, most people in
D-Train, do
entertainment.
you want to comment on this? He just got engaged. He's a radio personality.
Congratulations, D-Train.
Yeah, congrats. Congrats, big
bro,
mama.
on your engagement. Yes,
I don't
sir.
even know that that's an entertainer thing. I feel like that's a maturity thing because at any point when you have an opportunity to make some real cash as opposed to not, but y'all got, whatever plan, if you're in it for the long run, you're in it for the long run. And so, granted, as important as time is, like, you also got to be willing to this is what you do, this is your career, but more importantly, me knowing you personally, this is your passion. So she's not only interrupting your money, but she's flexing on your passion too, and that's just wrong. My opinion. Might be what I'm still saying.
And G, since you're doing a lot of walking around,
I was just trying to show them on IG what she's doing. That's why she's
I
talking.
don't drink.
That's why she's talking like that. I don't drink. You just
This is cranberry juice. This is cranberry juice.
all right,
I'm sorry,
G, focus, son, focus.
okay. My bad.
To answer your
I'm
question,
tripping.
I don't think, the one thing that I would change for a relationship is I would express myself more because I feel like I have a temper problem, but my temper problem.
We know.
Shut up, G. My temper problem is because I hold a lot of stuff in, and then it just gets to the point where I can't handle it no more, and I'm like, ah.
Okay.
But other than that, I'm dope. So
Hey, look, that's the second time she said that, so she
because
must
I
mean,
am,
Pure.
She's like, my name is
like I'm the
Shay Foot.
easiest person to get along
I'm
with.
a PR and I'm dope.
Yeah. See, working
I'm
in
not mad
public
at you.
relations.
Why not have a high view of yourself.
To work in public relations, you have to know how to relate to the public. So I'm a very understanding person. I'm an empathetic person. So I don't have any problems. I'm like, go get your money, boo-boo.
Okay.
Pick me up some Popeyes on the way home.
So what is something that you won't settle for?
That I won't settle for?
Because sometimes you get always like, well, that wasn't so bad.
Hold on, let me
Maybe
get out
I
my
can
list.
deal with that.
Oh shit! She said, "Let her get out the list." The old scroll. I will not settle.
I would not settle for somebody who is condescending and disrespectful and don't have any goals in life. There's nothing wrong with somebody waking up, going to work in the morning, coming home and chilling. That's fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I just don't want that life. You get what I'm saying? So if somebody is fine with that life and they don't want to start their own business or do something for the community or nothing, that's just not the type of person for me. So I wouldn't want to, because I'm like, you're home again? Like you was just home yesterday. You don't want to do nothing? I can't. I don't think I would settle for a drug addict either. And by drugs, I mean everything but weed.
Kip?
Oh, what I'm not willing to settle for.
Wait, can you hear her in the on that? Because the mic is like.
Oh yeah, the mic is.
I just want to make, because this is a podcast. I know we go on live and stuff, but this is for the podcast. So I'm just making
That's
sure
why
that
there's
you're
editing
able.
involved.
Thank
I'm just
you,
making sure that
G.
you're able to be heard. That's all.
So I'm not into addictions. So I won't settle for that. I am considered a health professional. So I like someone that's healthy. So when we were talking about like going back to that, I'm looking for someone who's healthy. I'm looking for someone who takes care
What
of
do you mean
themselves.
about healthy?
Someone who takes care of themselves. I'm not saying you got to be like super fit, and I'm not saying you got to be vegan and, only plant-based, but you got to be willing to take care of yourself, And that has to be an active thing. And when I say healthy, I also mean spiritually and mentally as well. So if you walking around here carrying baggage from that girl that you dated when you was 21 and you coming to me now at 30-something, nah, bruh. Like, we can even go to therapy together, but you going to address that. And so that's important for me.
I don't have like definitive answers for most of these questions, because the only thing
You didn't grow up with a father, though. Sorry.
hold on, I look just like my daddy with his petty asshole ass. Yeah. Well, see, I actually did have an answer too. What was it? Oh. Okay, one thing I know for a fact that I will not settle for is someone that cannot take accountability for their actions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
yeah.
look,
That's bad.
I'm not even going to. But yeah, I'm just not going to do that.
That goes for all you mama's boys.
Like my man Derek says, relationship definitions
All you mama's
are
boys.
relative. They're relative.
Now, what is something that we're talking about? Finances.
Finances. So about the money.
Right.
Yes.
Now, if you're dating somebody and you're about to get married, and let's say would you prefer them to meet you halfway, or if they're not meeting you halfway, they're under trying to get back, or would you rather have that safety net to where they're pretty much they're providing, being what a man, according to society, is deemed to be, and support his woman?
It's 2018. We not still looking for providers as ladies. It's not happening. Especially being 30-something. Like, I've been providing for myself for so long. Like, I'm okay. But I think that's something you definitely have to have a conversation with. I don't think I'm prepared today to say, oh, meet me halfway, or oh, you got to make the more money, or oh, whatever. I just need to be able to take vacations yearly. That's all I want.
Oh, God damn.
That's all I want.
All I know is I'm trying to take some trips.
All I know is I'm trying to go on vacation.
Nigga, I'm just trying to take some
I need stamps on the passport. I need stamps on the passport. That's all I want.
All right, G or Shay?
I feel like I've been on all three sides of this question, and I still think it's situation based. Yeah. Like, if you are a man and you're making less than I am and you're trying to get back on your feet, I've been there like 4, 5, 6 times in my life. I understand. But you have to make a real effort. I'm not paying all the bills and stuff by myself and struggling to take care of a man. But I understand that things happen in life.
That's your second son.
Right. I understand that things happen in life, and, you get knocked down sometimes. I get that. So I'm not going to say, oh, you're in the rebuilding stage, I can't talk to you right now. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, I've dated a man who had way more money than I did. And it was great for a moment until he felt like he owned me.
Yep, I knew it. He got control.
Yes, because he paid all the bills, and so it was just like, oh, I paid the rent here. That's my house. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I can go back and live with my mother if I want to hear this. Like, you chose, like, that's the decision that we made.
Right.
So if you just want me to pay the cable bill and the phone bill, and you pay everything else, that's what I'm doing. But you still getting gifts and stuff with my extra money.
And then get mad at the arrangement.
Right. And so I really didn't like that situation where I felt like he controlled me because he made more money. And if I was ever short on something, then I have to ask you. And it was just like, I didn't like that. But meeting halfway, that was cool. That was good. It was just like, I don't know. We really
going
didn't.
halfway on the rent. Like, what does that even mean? Like, what we going halfway on the rent? We going
Sound
halfway
like
on
Dutch.
grocery stores?
No, I've never.
Rent is $900.
I-
pay $450. That's what half of the rent is.
I've never paid rent.
Technical.
If I was in a relationship with somebody and we lived together, I never paid rent for both of us. That's just something that the guy wanted to do. You know, he felt like that was his thing. And plus, it was his place anyway, so you been paying it. I'm not adding an extra bill. I'm not adding an extra bill to you. You was paying this before me. So, but I technically, I don't live by society's standards. I don't care about gender roles. I don't care about none of that stuff. So if I meet someone and we say, hey, we're going to get a place together, we're going to go half on the rent, cool, I'm with it. I'm not against, no, you're the man of the house and you're supposed to do. There's no supposed to me. The only thing I ask is you take out the trash and wash the dishes.
Yeah, because I don't want to take out.
I don't want to take out the trash. But other than that, I mean, money is money. Happiness is more important to me.
And then for all guys who may or may not be intimidated with how much money you make as a female, like there's more that you bring to the table than money, and that is another thing that is that's another thing that's unhealthy in some of the guys that, like in our age range, they grew up with a man is taking care of the bills and being there, or, you know, whatever, some archaic type stuff. I need emotional support. I need, you know, that's what I need. So if you aren't the breadwinner in the house, that's okay. But are you supporting me emotionally? And can you cook? Cooking's important.
Well, I love cooking, so it's okay if you can't cook. Please just get out the kitchen. That's how I feel.
All right, G. And then I'll contribute.
Well, my last relationship, which was like 5 years ago, we lived together, and I pretty much paid like all the bills. Like I paid the rent, and I paid like 90% of stuff. I think the only thing she paid was like the
Cell phone
Phone bill and
like,
the light bill.
Yeah, and occasionally the light bill.
Yeah, that's how I usually go.
I've only been in like 3 serious relationships.
Me too.
And but that last one was the one where it was a, you know, finance issue and stuff like, not finance issue, but I damn sure wasn't making the money I'm making now that I was then. But anyway, but
Let me get $1.
I left my wallet. It's right there. But right. The money a female makes never like bothered me, I guess you say, like whether she didn't have any or we made the same or she made more. I don't think I've ever been with a woman that made more money than me. I'm not actually sure. Maybe, but if like it never came up like, well, let me see how much you made this year.
Excuse me.
You know, there's never been nothing
What
like
if she
that, so.
came to you and it was always like, oh, my car insurance is due and I don't have the money. Oh, but now my phone's about to get cut off. Like, how are you feeling it?
That's why we had a phone plan together. Your phone's about to get cut off. My phone about to get cut off. My phone never gets cut off because I need that shit.
Would you be okay with that situation? Sorry.
No. That's a valid question.
I'm taking over this.
That's a valid question. It depends.
Because if you
depends
say
on-
money has never been an issue, it's like...
It hasn't been an issue because it's never been like, oh, well, let's get this. Let's go buy this. I got to pay this. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've only been in 3 serious relationships, but only the last one was where we were like living in the same place. You know what I'm saying? Under the same roof. So pretty much her bills were my bills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she didn't have a car, so I didn't have to worry about that. I had the car.
Yeah.
And I had the insurance. I had to worry about that. Yeah, and back then I was cheap. I was on my parents' insurance. Keeping it real.
I
Since I got
wish.
my new car though,
Right.
I had
I
that bad boy
wish.
about 4 years.
If somebody is looking to add somebody to the insurance, please.
You making a plea over here, yo?
I'm about to put a classified ad on Craigslist.
Okay. I want to thank
I just want curry
everyone
chicken. That's it.
who joined this podcast, who's been on IG. We actually been talking for about an
Get my
hour.
charger.
Oh, it doesn't feel like it.
No, it really don't. And we talked about a lot of good things. And this will definitely not be the end because there's some things we haven't touched on that I
Yeah.
think we as a collective can do again. So I want to thank my host that just walked out to handle some things like a charger, G Money, Miss Shay Foot, Diddy, aka I Am Dope,
Diddy, I am dope.
and Miss Kia. And of course, this is What the
She's
Ruck,
so pretty.
dating in your 30s. I'll let y'all know on air when it's going to be up in case you missed
This
it.
shit better not be over. It's over? I just ran out of here for nothing to get my charger? Okay, it's okay. It's cool.